Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this time. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for checking me out. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button just right below the video. Cool, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate having you here.
I have been so impressed with Ripple, the company, their management, and just everything around Ripple in general, because they have done an outstanding job throughout this entire lawsuit with everything going on. They've grown their business. They've communicated to the retail XRP holders. They've done everything they can to, in my opinion, be one of the most responsible and one of the most impressive companies that I pay attention to. I want to start right here and show you this tweet from Ripple's general counsel, Stuart Alderati. He says, the conclusion of how these public 2012 memos is clear. XRP does not constitute as a security. The fact that Ripple had the foresight to seek legal advice from a prominent firm in 2012 in the absence of clear law and 5 years before the SEC even started talking about digital assets should be applauded. This is so funny because the SEC is literally attacking Ripple, saying that they were irresponsible, and everything Ripple has done and all the evidence we are seeing shows that Ripple has been as transparent and as responsible as possible. So it is so ironic that the SEC is literally suing Ripple's founders and saying they were reckless and endangered the public. It is such a joke, but I'm going to show you guys later in this video that one of the reasons that we might be seeing this is simply because the SEC legal team is completely incompetent. They have routinely made serious blunders throughout this entire case, and you guys are not going to believe what Jeremy Hogan pointed out later in this video. Let's keep moving though, and I wanted to show you this tweet from Brad Garlinghouse regarding the legal memos because I thought it was incredible. Brad is really a great CEO, and I'd be so upset if he ever left Ripple. He tweeted out, "The truth is out for everyone to read. What we see is that the SEC waited 8 years to decide. They disagreed with this analysis, disseminating thousands and thousands of XRP holders who they purport to protect in the process. So much for being mission driven." And he makes an outstanding point right here. The SEC literally waited 8 years to go tell the public, to go tell Ripple that they thought XRP was a security. If the SEC had any interest in protecting retail investors, they would have told Ripple immediately that they believed XRP was a security. The reason they never did was because they had no idea and likely knew it wasn't a security. This lawsuit is an absolute joke and a mess for the SEC. The fact that they claim their job is to protect retail investors is nothing short of embarrassing. Next up, I just wanted to cover something quick regarding these legal memos that I saw floating around Twitter. I saw a lot of people pointing out that one of the law firms did say there is a small chance that XRP one day could be seen as a security if the SEC decides to go down that path. I just want to point out that this question from the deposition, because I think this addresses it perfectly. This question from one of Ripple's lawyers said, "Fair to say that the moderators believe that you call 10 different law firms, they give you 10 different answers." And what this points out is that at the time, no one knew for sure if XRP could be a security because there was no law saying it was or wasn't. There's no outline for what digital assets are or what they could be, and it was all just trying to figure it out because there was no guidance. Of course, law firms were going to say, we don't think XRP is a security, but of course, we're a law firm. We have to say there's a probability. It would be terrible lawyering if they'd said, nope, 100% chance we can predict the future. XRP will never be declared a security. If we look at the exact quote from the law firm, they literally say, and just so you know, they call XRP Ripple credits. They say, we understand that the primary reason for purchasing Ripple credits is to facilitate online commerce, not to engage in speculative investing trading. As such, given the commercial nature here, Ripple credits should not be considered securities. They are clearly telling us that they don't think XRP is a security. So Ripple assumed, based on their legal analysis, XRP is not a security. And then the SEC ignored Ripple selling XRP for 8 years, making Ripple think, okay, well, if we were doing something wrong, they probably would have told us. But no! 8 years later, they decide out of nowhere that they feel like calling XRPs a security. It's literally maddening. It makes no sense, and I pray to God this lawsuit is all a stage, because if the SEC really thinks that this is how you carry out a lawsuit, this is how you regulate a market, oh my God, it blows my mind. Now, you guys have to see this. This is from Jeremy Hogan's new video, and this is regarding the 180 turnaround the SEC is making regarding Bill Hinman's speech. I pointed this out in my video last night, but I didn't quite understand how bad this was. I kind of assumed the SEC was just doing more of, we can do whatever we want, we're the SEC, we can change our argument, and the court just kind of had to say, alright, well, what are we going to do about it? But Jeremy Hogan actually points out in this video that this is an extraordinary move. He literally goes out of his way to say he has never seen anything like this, and typically lawyers do everything they can to never 180 on a critical issue like this. But not only that, Jeremy Hogan's going to explain to you guys in this clip that this could end up horrible for the SEC and actually make them lose two arguments at once. Listen up.
You stay with that and do not waver. Never, ever change your theory of the case or issue midstream unless you absolutely 1000% have to. Never, ever do it. Never, ever. So, here's what the SEC did, and it's in this motion for reconsideration. Let's take a look. It's right there at the bottom of page 1, right at the beginning of the motion, and it says, quote, "The speech itself and the many drafts and comments by SEC staff across different SEC divisions and offices deliberating the agency's approach to the regulation of digital assets show that Director Hinman and other SEC staff used the speech to provide public guidance as to how CorpFin, Corporation Finance Division, would apply the federal securities laws to offers and sales of digital assets, including Ether. Indeed, SEC regulations provide that Director Hinman's public statements could be relied upon as representing the view of CorpFin, the division he led." Close quote. Yes, the entire argument completely backtracks on what the SEC has been saying about this speech for almost like the last year. And what does that mean from a legal strategy standpoint? Look at what the SEC has just done. It's not good because it opens up the possibility that the SEC could lose both its pond and its bishop. Let me explain. First, the judge has already made a very strong determination that as far as she is concerned, the speech was Hinman's personal opinion. There is no doubt about that in her order. That is actually what the SEC wanted. It got basically what it wanted there. Now in this motion for reconsideration, it has given her more very similar documents to review and changed its position on the speech 180 degrees. Now, is that going to change the judge's mind on whether the emails are discoverable? I don't think so. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think so because she's already made a determination based on Hinman's affidavit. Just because a lawyer says that Hinman's affidavit is not correct doesn't make it so. It's meaningless. Nothing a lawyer ever says is evidence. Only what Hinman said under oath is evidence. Now, second, and much worse, the SEC has now put its bishop at risk, and that's because it's trying to make a fine distinction that most likely isn't going to hold up. And that distinction may very well put the Hinman speech back in play as official guidance when Judge Torres gets the case for final summary judgment.
So this is huge. This was the SEC's biggest fear from the start of this case. They are terrified of having to compare Ethereum versus XRP because they understand there is virtually no difference. If it is decided that William Hinman's Ethereum free pass speech was SEC guided, that opens the door for Ripple to compare Ethereum to XRP, and instantly XRP could never be a security, because if Ethereum was not a security in the eyes of the SEC, XRP is not a security in the eyes of the SEC. The SEC is terrified of this happening because they know if the speech was SEC guided and they have to compare ETH versus XRP, it's an auto loss. But what else do we know? We also know that the SEC now doesn't want it to be Bill Hinman's opinion. Why? Because then Ripple is entitled to getting the documents related to Ethereum. Why is that bad? Because these documents likely show a lot of bad stuff. They might even also say that in the earlier drafts of the speech, they were likely also going to make a mention that XRP very likely isn't a security either, which would also end up in an auto loss for the SEC. So what did the SEC try to do? They tried to ping pong between these and essentially make it so the speech was William Hinman's personal opinion, but they didn't have to give out any docs, and they didn't have to compare ETH versus XRP. They tried to keep arguing different arguments, keep changing their mind, keep saying different things, keep lying, keep changing their position in hopes that somehow they just wouldn't have to comply with anything the court was saying. But what Jeremy Hogan points out in his video is it's actually going to turn out to be a huge backfire for the SEC, because now it is very possible that because of what the SEC said in this latest motion, that the court is going to rule on the fact that not only does Ripple get the documents, because the court had already decided that it was Bill Hinman's personal opinion, but the SEC has also admitted now that they were using the speech to guide the market, so now they might also have to compare ETH versus XRP. This would be a huge loss for the SEC, because this right here is something they cannot do. It's impossible. Based on all the standards they give out, XRP is less of a security than Ethereum. So how could they possibly say that Ethereum isn't a security, but XRP is? They can't. The SEC is stuck in this pickle right here, and it's all auto loss situations, and the SEC's only hope is simply to keep delaying, and that's what's happening right now. The SEC likely changed their entire argument and likely did all this because they are just praying at this point that the case will keep getting pushed back. It's your only hope. It's the only weapon the SEC currently has. It's time. All the SEC can do is extend the inevitable. They will lose this case. The evidence is against them. All they can do is hope that they can stall long enough that Ripple will settle the case with them, because they know if they don't stall, Ripple is going to beat them at summary judgment. They don't have any avenues to get out of this unless something drastic comes to the table that we have not seen yet. But it likely would have already been put out by the SEC, so the SEC better be praying that something falls in their lap, or else they just need to keep extending, hope that the judge keeps granting it, and then pray that Ripple settles with them. Because if they don't settle, Ripple's going to win outright, and XRP won't be a security. So what are we waiting for now? We're waiting for the court to hold the SEC to one of these positions. We're waiting for the court to say, hand over the documents, and was the speech guided? Once these things are decided, we are going to understand how this court case is going to play out. But before these things happen, the SEC is just going to keep stalling, and we're not going to get the information we need to base the outcome of this case until these things get pushed out. When will they happen? Likely no later than March 11th. We need to keep our eyes out, because this is going to be the grand finale. Not actually the grand finale, but the grand finale in the biggest decision we have seen in this case in a very, very long time. We need to see this ruling come out soon, because if it is in Ripple's favor, like I think it is, like many of the experts think, it is very likely that XRP will be the only digital asset in the entire United States that has certain clarity.
I'm your guy. I will keep you posted. I'm your advocate. I'll be back on a daily basis, usually multiple times per day, with these videos to keep you updated with everything going on. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share any of my videos with your friends, family, social media, or anybody who may care to listen. Thanks so much for your continued support. I'm always here for you. I want to help you through this time. So thank you so much for continuing to choose me. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again probably in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.